Alrighty, hello, what's new, Card Crew? Thank you so much for joining me here on another episode of Card Connection with CGC Cards. Can't believe tonight is already episode 20. Thank you so much for joining me here on this Monday night. I know 8 p.m. is not always the most convenient time for everyone, but I love starting off the week getting into some big hobby news, and do have a lot of fresh, hot off the press updates from CGC Cards to get on into with all of you here today. But how's everyone doing? How was your weekend? Thank you everyone for joining. Who do we have here in chat? We have Acorn, I see Shannon. Looks like we have a couple other viewers as well. Hello lurkers, welcome, appreciate you tuning in. Hope you all are having a great start to your week. But welcome here to CGC Cards' Card Connection. I have a message. Let me take a look from Suze. How are you, Suze? I do not have any text. I do not have any text, but how are you today, Suze? Hope you are doing well. Let's go ahead and kick things off with our usual. It's coming. All right, yes, the only graphics I were able to take, I took from the article, wasn't able to get a handle on any of the other ones, so just the images used on the thumbnail. That's Mickey Mantle, the first certified card for CGC JSA, and the Christopher Rush Black Lotus. But I'm excited to see more. I really like the label. We'll get into that a little bit future. No, the Lotus either? Alrighty, let me get that updated real quick. One moment. The Lotus is still prevalent in the article, by the way. It is the first one on the homepage. Just so you know. But I can swap out real quick, get that updated. What's new, Card Crew? Let's talk about CGC cards around the world while I squint at my PC to get some updates done real quick on our thumbnail. We are going to Classic Games Fest this weekend. Wow, upcoming July 19th through the 21st. Can you guys believe that is already coming up here this weekend? Palmer Event Center in Austin, Texas. It's where Classic Games Fest will be taking place. CGC will be on site to accept comics, cards, video game, and home video drop-off submissions. Those are for take-home, no on-site grading at that event. However, we do have a big event coming up shortly with some on-site grading, the National, of course, and yes, National and San Diego Comic-Con taking place the same following weekends. July 25th through the 28th for San Diego Comic-Con, and July 24th through the 28th for the National Sport Collectors Convention. So San Diego Comic-Con, of course, taking place in San Diego, California. CGC Cards will be on site for that, accepting comics, cards, video game, and home video drop-off submissions. If you'd like to learn more about that event, use the command SDCC in chat. And then for the National, do have a National update we'll get into when we get into our news segments. More information on where you can find CGC Cards, which booth we will be at. But for information on San Diego Comic-Con, make sure to go ahead and use command SDCC. Then for the National, use command NSCC. So that is the IX Center in Cleveland, Ohio. CGC Cards will be on site accepting drop-off submissions for cards, comics, video games, and home video. And we'll also be offering on-site card grading. So if you'd like to have your cards graded on site for pickup either at the end of show, through walkthrough, or express, you may do so. We'll get into talking a little bit about that and the fee schedule shortly. But then I have some new events on the horizon that we weren't able to talk about a couple weeks ago. I know we had an extra week off break than I was expecting. I did fall ill, and then I had that pre-scheduled break for the 4th of July weekends. But Fan Expo Canada, CGC will be accepting cards, comic, magazine, and video game take-home submissions through Grosvenor, one of our affiliates for Canada. That'll be taking place August 22nd through the 25th at the Metro Toronto Convention Center. in Ontario. And then the German Cards and Collectibles Show will be taking place in Germany, August 31st through September 1st. That is at the Swag Energy Arena in Frankfurt. So we have some out-of-country events coming up in the month of August. Some really big ones here coming up in the month of July. But give me 1 second and we will swap out that thumbnail. Boop. Easy. Lorcana. Easy. Boom. All right. Suzette should be updated if you exit. Make sure, take a look. Let me know if everything looks good on that from now. But alrighty. Let me refix my tabs here so I can see what I'm looking at. And I can see chat again. Chat, I've missed you. Where are you, chat? Hello. Cool hat. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. Appreciate that. But alrighty. So let's go ahead and talk about, of course, the big elephants in the room, news and announcements. But yes, first, before getting into, I know a lot of you are wondering about more information about the JSA autograph authentication, but for our national updates. So if you're going to be attending the national in a couple weekends, we are of course going to be there doing on-site grading and a lot of other events. Come visit CGC Cards at the 44th National Sports Collectors Convention in Cleveland, Ohio at booth number 6016. So visitors to this booth number 6016, can expect even more fun and excitement during this year's 5-day national events. More excitement than ever before. So stop by the booth for the hobby's most affordable grading services, and on-site grading options available, a grading competition, meet the grader, with our grading teams. You can meet different graders for CGC. You can win awesome prizes. There's free giveaways. There's going to be surprise guests and all kinds of stuff going on. On-site grading submissions, however, are accepted at a first-come, first-served basis. So space is limited. So I do recommend, and CGC as a company does recommend, if you want to do on-site grading at the show, since we don't know how many people will be wanting to do that, there is a limited amount that's physically able to take care of. So make sure to drop off your submissions as soon as possible. So start of the show, beginning of the day, whenever you can get that dropped off for on-site grading. Do recommend sooner rather than later. And of course, stay tuned, stay posted on our social media. If it does fill up for our allocation of cards that we are able to do on-site grading with, we will let you guys know, and of course at the booth it'll let you all know. For no extra fee, you can of course have us take home those submissions, and if we do fill up on on-site grading, it'll only be for take-home submissions. So space is limited. Try to get through as many of you as possible who are wanting to grade with us, but of course, at some point there does have to be, you know, some sort of cap just because of time, space, and availability. To learn more about our presence at the National by using the command NSCC. To learn more about the events going on, what kind of competitions, what kind of giveaways we may be having, what kind of special guests to be announced soon. But here is the pricing for on-site grading at the National. So for bulk, why are you moving? For bulk submissions, so that is a 25 card minimum with a free membership. It is $18 a card, and you could pick that up at the end of the show. For economy, that is $20 a card, end of show pickup. Standard is $35 a card. Pick that up at the end of day. So if you're only attending the event for one day, let's say you're just able to pop into the National on Friday, you want to drop them off and pick them up before you leave, you can do that with the standard drop off. For express, that is also pick up at end of day, that is $55 per card. And for walkthrough service, that is $155 per card, and you can pick up your card in 3 hours. So if you have something super special, precious to you, I was definitely considering doing walkthrough service when I got my superfractors graded last year for protection, and I opted to go with the standard service for end of day, just because I felt better for my situation at that point. But I was considering walkthrough just because I was nervous about having those cards out of my hands for too long, but did go ahead and do that with regular service. Everything was great. Everything easy pickup, easy drop off. It is better if you fill out your submission drop off forms in advance. However, there will be computers for you to fill out those forms on site. So if you're not sure about it, or you pick something up at the show and you're like, hey, let me actually go get this graded before I head on out, that is possible to get that set up at the show. But for ease of everyone involved, if you know you want to drop off and have on-site cards graded, make sure to fill out that form ahead of time. So make sure you use command NSCC in chat to get the link to the website where you can learn all about that, all about the procedures, like I said, what's going on at our booth, and more details about pricing, and so on and so forth. Acorn in chat asking, will JSA be at the National as well? Wow, great question. Great question. Let me, I can leave this up here. I'll leave that fee sheet up there. News and cover up announcements. So news and chart is our new YouTube background. But as of July 15th, 2024, collectors can submit autograph cards for authentication by JSA and grading and encapsulation by CGC cards in one seamless solution. So CGC x JSA certification services for cards are here just in time for the biggest card collecting event of the year, the National. So in addition to accepting regular CGC x JSA submissions at the show and through mail, CGC Cards is offering comprehensive on-site services at the National, enabling collectors and dealers to have their cards, including autograph cards, authenticated, graded, and encapsulated while they wait. Greg K says, member discount wasn't working on JSA when I tried earlier. I will pass that information along to our team, Greg. I know we also have some Team CGC members lurking in chat. Team CGC as in the company, not Team CGC as in our Pokemon competitive team. Let them know it should be working. But it did just launch, I believe, around 5 p.m. today, so there may be some bugs that are getting worked on right at the moment. But I'll pass around your feedback, Greg, to let them know that there's some issue on the site with it not working. But autograph cards certified by CGC and JSA will be encapsulated with the new and distinctive CGC x JSA authentic autograph label, featuring both brand names and authentic autograph in yellow, a color that has long been used by CGC to indicate genuine signatures, a la signature series. So CGC and JSA combined services include autograph grading on request, and with the autograph grade displayed prominently on the front of the label alongside the card's grade and description. So let me actually pull up an image from our thumbnail, that gorgeous Mickey Mouse Lorcana pristine card. Let me pull up that image for you all real quick. Move this out of the way so you all can see a bit better. I really like the way the label looks. Please forgive my non-transparent image. Unfortunately, I was not able to get one of the transparent versions. But here, let's zoom in on that. So see, there is the CGC x JSA authentic autograph. I like how autograph is in cursive. I just really like the way this looks. You can see the classic, our new classic label, not necessarily the vintage, but with the golden pristine 10 and the gold background there here on this pristine 10 Steamboat Pilot, signed here by Juan Diego Leon. It's cool that it says who the autograph is. Yeah, I really like the way this looks. I think it's a good combination between the regular slab, but also not making the signature series something that is obtainable outside of signature series. It's very reminiscent of the CGC signature series labeling, especially for cards. You know, we've started seeing a few of the Marvel signings for signature series, which I'll talk about that reminder for the Joe Jusko event closing soon. But this is what the new label looks like, and the cards encapsulated with the CGC x JSA authentic autograph label will receive CGC Cards grader notes identifying pertinent details about the signers, available at the CGC Cards Verify certification on the website. Greg says, slab looks good. CGC made it easy, not having to look up a bunch of different signer fees. Shannon says, I like it. Acorn likes it as well. And there is no additional cost for autograph grading for cards submitted for CGC x JSA certification. You can also specify a minimum grade for both your card and your autograph when submitting for CGC x JSA services, which I like, having grade minimum, otherwise having it receive an authentic AU designation only if the grade ends up being below the minimum. I do appreciate that. Collector's Vault says, will I be able to submit signed cards via London office over here in the UK? That is a great question. That is a great question, Collector's Vault. Perhaps Suze may be able to answer that for you. I unfortunately don't have that information. That is a great question. Acorn asks, how are autos graded? That is a great question as well. I think that would actually be a great topic for a future grade school episode here on the channel. I'll pass that information along. Pass that along. But for submitting through CGC x JSA services, all you need is a free account to submit, and you should be also getting your discounts for paid members. So Greg did let us know we have to look into some errors going on with that, but associates and premium members should save 10%, and elite members will save 20% off of those services. But I think that's super cool. I think the label looks great. I saw it for the first time when the article dropped today, at 4:36-ish is exactly what I saw it. That was my first reaction to it. I did not get to see any of this ahead of time. I'm not privy to this information. I think it looks great. I really think it looks good. Really think it looks good. Let me see also if I can show you. If you click the pinned comments at the top of YouTube chats, that'll take you to our article where you can read more about the combined services for TCG sports cards and non-sports cards. But let me show you a pristine, so you can see what the regular label looks like as well. Collector's Vaults. We are offering JSA services, not yet internationally. They are working on it. That came from the FAQ on the article. Thank you, Acorn, for finding that information. I appreciate that. Let me show you guys one that is not with the pristine label, with the regular white label. We have this awesome 1989 90 Hoops Michael Jordan here. So mint 9 and auto 10 underneath. So that is what the non-gold, non-pristine label looks like. So I like it. I like it, the CGC x JSA and the hollow foil and the authentic autograph. Like I said, reminiscent of the Signature Series. Really like how that looks. I'm excited to see feedback from the rest of the community. I see you guys in chat here are also enjoying the design, but I'm excited to see more feedback, see what everyone else thinks as well. All right, let me put that out of the way so it's not just this giant slab lurking over our shoulder. But yes, so accounts, membership discounts should be applying. We'll get that taken a look at, make sure that gets all squared away. Thank you, Greg, for the information that there is some errors with that currently. But yes, big news for that. I'm super excited to see. A lot of people have been requesting that for a long time, being like, you know, CGC does Signature Series. We know that you guys have some capability with autograph authentication. Signature Series is still going to be for CGC witness signings, but the autograph authentication, thanks to our new acquisition of JSA, is expanding our offering. So great to see that. Great to see that. Alrighty, speaking of Signature Series, here's a reminding for that Joe Jusko private signing that submissions for any of those, for Joe Jusko comics or cards to have signs. So for the signing, you can send in cards featuring Joe Jusko's art or comics. Those will get encapsulated with the distinctive yellow CGC Signature Series label. However, CGC cards must receive all submissions by Tuesday, July 23rd. So if you are just hearing about this for the first time, you have 8 days to get that shipped and delivered by Tuesday, July 23rd. So won't be talking about this on the next episode because that date will be too soon to get in store. Well, not in store, I guess in-house for any send-ins. But if you are hearing about this for the first time now, you're like, oh, I love Joe Jusko. I have the super cool 90s Joe Jusko, I don't know, Marvel Masterpieces card you'd love for him to sign. You do have limited time to get this sent in. But yes, so the CGC Signature Series team will be hosting an in-house exclusive private signing events for comic books and trading cards featuring his art. Learn more about this signing by using the command Signature Series. Time is running out. Collector's Vault says, I think these slab designs are fantastic. 10 out of 10, brilliant design. Thank you, Collector's Vault. We appreciate the feedback. Glad to hear it. In some fun news, if you use the command Goudy, See some awesome 1934 CGC graded Gaudy baseball cards. CGC has recently had the pleasure of authenticating and grading a large collection of vintage cards from the popular 1934 Gaudy baseball sets. So this set is one of the most popular pre-World War II sets. It's colorful and highly coveted still to this day. This set is best known for its vibrant colors, artistic renderings of the players, and its Lou Gehrig says accompanying quotes on the cards. To learn more about this set and see images as well as a special video featuring these iconic cards, go ahead and use the command Gaudy. And then, since you all know how much I love Garbage Pail Kids, want to go ahead and talk about a new article posted by our very own Rayanne on our website. The story behind the cards, Garbage Pail Kids. If you're not familiar with Garbage Pail Kids started out as a parody of another popular franchise from the 1980s, and it quickly became a fad of its own that continues to be popular with collectors and enthusiasts today. So a little bit of a background on GPK. Garbage Pail Kids is a series of sticker trading cards produced by Topps. Originally conceptualized by Art Spiegelman, Garbage Pail Kids parodied another popular 1980s collectible, the Cabbage Patch Kids line of dolls. So instead of being happy dolls, Garbage Pail Kids sticker cards are depict child characters as, and I quote from the article, having comic abnormalities such as extraordinary deformities, gross traits, or suffering horrible deaths. So if you'd like to learn more about these interesting Garbage Pail Kids cards, the history of them from the 80s until now, go ahead and read the full article written by Rayanne by using the command GPK in chat to get that article. And then for our featured card of the month, just released recently, is Pokemon TCG card from Pokemon Platinum Arceus, Gengar Level X. I remember collecting Level X cards. I was always trying to chase the Arceus ones. But Gengar Level X is our featured card of the month. If you'd like to learn a little bit more about that card and the history of it in the Pokemon TCG, go ahead and use the command featured. Alrighty. Getting into some hobby news that is non-CGC related. Looks like all sports news here today. Didn't get to touch upon the results of the Stanley Cup final last time I was here because it was going to Game 7. But I'm here to report that the Panthers took down the Oilers in Game 7, winning 4-3, preventing a reverse sweep, and finally closing out to take home Lord Stanley. In terms of other Florida hockey news, Tampa Bay Lightning captain Steven Stamkos has departed from the team as a free agent and has since signed with the Nashville Predators. And I have here in my notes to insert crying. So yes, goodbye Stamkos. You have made it into an episode of CGC Cards Card Connection. Come home, Stamkos, come home. In some soccer news, big soccer events as of late, including actually just yesterday on Sunday, July 14th. But for the Copa America, Team Argentina defeated Team Colombia 1-0 on 7/14 to win a record 16th Copa America title. So Leonardo Messi was unable to play in the second half of the match due to an ankle injury. However, with this win, he retains his title as the most decorated soccer player of all time. This loss for Team Colombia snapped their 28-game win streak, having dated back to their last loss being in February of 2022 for a World Cup trial. So wow, Team Colombia was on quite the run there. 2 years undefeated, 28-game win streak, but taken down by Team Argentina to lose in the finals of the Copa America. Now on to the Euro Championship. Team Spain defeated Team England 2-1. Also yesterday on July 14th to win the 2024 UEFA European Championship. Lamine Yamal becomes the youngest player in history to win a UEFA Euros at only 17 years old and 1 day. He started the tournament as a record young 16-year-old player. And currently, the best of both worlds between Copa and Euros, an image of Leonardo Messi holding Lamine Yamal as a baby is going viral. And while many are wondering if this is a doctored image, it is in fact a real picture from a 2007 charity photo shoot for a calendar, where Messi is actually holding Yamal as a baby. Crazy how it has worked out with Yamal being a force to be reckoned with upcoming here in football. Crazy. It's like Messi had powers holding him as a child. It's like he channeled his energy into Yamal. It's crazy. But it's a funny picture. I didn't know if I'd be able to share it here, but it is definitely a really funny picture. If you guys could check that out, just even if you just search Messi, Yamal, you will find it. It's a very 2007 haircut as well on Messi on that one. A blast from the past, one would say. Actually, it's kind of reminiscent of my hair right now. Ignore that. Ignore that. And then fun baseball history in the making. I didn't realize that the MLB draft was also this weekend. A lot of sporting events going on Sunday, July 14th. But Travis Bazana, history was made with him being the first overall pick in the 2024 draft because he's the first Australian to be drafted in the first round, let alone with the first overall pick. Travis Bazana is a second baseman from Australia. And fun fact, only 38 Australians have previously played in the Major League Baseball. And Bazana states that he sees this as a chance to help grow the sport in his home country, setting records to be the first Australian in the first round, and of course, first Australian drafted first overall there by the Cleveland Guardians. And that finishes up my news and announcements. A lot of news and announcements, definitely a news-heavy show tonight. Big deal going on with the CGC x JSA autograph authentication. But let's go ahead and talk about some new releases as of late. We've got a couple weeks of new releases to talk about. Topps Tier 1 Baseball and Upper Deck Fleer Ultra Wolverine released right before the 4th of July on July 3rd. And then on July 5th, we saw a big release from Magic Gathering, the new Universes Beyond set featuring Assassin's Creed. And then on the 12th of July, we saw the second release for the brand new Star Wars TCG from Fantasy Flight Games, Star Wars Unlimited Shadows of the Galaxy. And then for upcoming releases for this week, we have a product that was supposed to release this past Friday, got delayed until Tuesday. Very interesting release date. Tuesday, July 16th, 2023, Panini Contenders Football is releasing. On Wednesday, 2024, Topps Chrome Baseball. Beautiful designs on those. Topps has been sharing a lot of previews on social media, including a Sandy Koufax Superfractor autograph. Appears that Sandy Koufax will have autographs as high as number to 50. So out of 50s, out of 25s, I believe 10s, 5s, and the Superfractor. And then Donruss Baseball also releasing from Panini on Wednesday, July 17th. Friday, July 19th, we should be expecting Panini Select Racing, which is a NASCAR product, and Yu-Gi-Oh! The Infinite Forbidden, a new expansion for the Yu-Gi-Oh! TCG. And yes, very, very news-heavy. Wow, 30 minutes of news for you all here tonight, but I suppose that's fair, because unfortunately tonight we do not have any openings. Hopefully pull some strings and maybe get into some Topps Chrome, maybe a Topps Chrome hobby box next week, if I can finagle our budget here a little bit. Would love to check that out with all of you. But no openings for tonight, so we're going to hop right on into our Community Spotlight, my favorite segment of the show. Shannon saying, Alley, the Baseball Home Run Derby is tonight. Ooh, interesting. Interesting. Alrighty, let's see. Community Spotlight. Boop, ba-doo, ba-doo, boop, boo. I have this beautiful Gem Mint 10 Latios and Latios GX alternate art. I regret not buying this card so bad. I wish I had this card. I remember on release weekend, it was $75. And I was in a card shop and I was talking with some other people, and they're like, oh, that's super inflated. That card's gonna crash. And it did go down from release weekend when it was $75. It did go down to, I think, about $45 at some point. Yep, I would love to buy a bunch of these cards at $75. I would love to. But from @CollectorCash here on Instagram with the like, comment, and share on this gorgeous Gem Mint 10 Latios and Latios GX. I am so jealous. I love it. I love this card so much. Congrats on getting that Gem Mint 10 Collector Cash, and thank you for sharing. Thank you so much for sharing. Alrighty, what do we got here? We got some Mew action here from Morty at the @1TrueMorty_Pokemon on Instagram with this awesome Gem Mint 10 Ancient Mew. This card is super cool. Their post states, oh boy, when the nostalgia hits, Ancient Mew movie promo from Pokemon 2000, The Power of One. I can remember the movie attendant handing these out when you bought the ticket. Absolutely love this card. Definitely an iconic Pokemon card. I remember having one of these cards as a kid, although I don't even remember going to see the movie in theaters. I have no idea if I did. Pokemon 2000, I would have been like 3, maybe 4 years old when this movie came out, but this is such a cool card. Love it, and thank you so much, Morty, for sharing this beautiful Gem Mint 10 in your collection. The foils go crazy on this card. Front and back foiled card, by the way. One of, I believe, only 2 official Pokemon cards according to Morty's post, that had foil on the front and the back. Super awesome Ancient Mew. Then moving away from Pokemon and getting on into some Marvel by @RMS Collects on Instagram. Shared a couple of awesome Marvel cards. I chose one here to show this week. I have one to show next week as well. But 1995 Flair Ultra Spider-Man card number 134 Venom. That is a CGC 10, of course, Gem Mint Pop 1. Absolutely beautiful card. Awesome. Congrats on that Pop 1. Congrats on getting that 10. Love how that looks, RMS Collects. Congrats, and thank you so much for sharing. And then something that spoke to me, I was like, man, I want some of these. I know that I've seen vaulted vinyls in person. I've never seen a 2-row vaulted vinyl. I've seen a 4-row. In fact, if you submit on site with CGC cards, you are entered to win a special certified or I guess this special collab. It's CGC Cards branded vaulted vinyl. It has the logo on it for on-site drop-off submissions at shows throughout the year. Is one of the giveaways for dropping off cards and submitting on-site through the CGC official booth. So that's a 4-row, but this is a 2-row, and this looks super sick with those double pristine gold label, black label, Blue Eyes White Dragons. My favorite Yu-Gi-Oh card. I was like, ooh, I want this. That's what happens when I'm just looking through pictures. Afro Black says, hey, those are mine. These are sick, man. I love these. I love this. I'm like, oh, I might need to get myself a vaulted vinyl and some sick blue eye. I have some sick blue eyes, but not this sick. Those are awesome. Loving this new case. Acrylic is really clear and lets the showcase card shine. From @Barbershop TCG on Instagram. So thank you, Afro Black, for letting me share. I love this. It looks super cool. Love me some blue eyes. Ah, good stuff. Good stuff. I can safely say I wasn't expecting a double pristine. Well, congrats on getting the pristines. Pristines are quite difficult to get. And I know Yu-Gi-Oh cards especially can be quite difficult to grade. Having opened a lot of Yu-Gi-Oh myself, pack fresh Yu-Gi-Oh cards can be... We'll leave it at that. You're expecting gems? Well, congrats on the pristines. Even better. What a wonderful surprise for you. But with that, that wraps off our community spotlight this week. So if you have questions, concerns, cards to share, you can go ahead and reach out at cardconnection@cgccards.com. You can message me on Instagram. You can message CGC Cards on Instagram. I mainly look through those of you that tag CGC Cards to go ahead and share on the community spotlight. And I appreciate you all. I've never actually had someone say no. When I've said, hey, can I share your post on Card Connection? No one said no yet. So maybe someone out there in the audience watching wants to be, just feels like being antagonistic. You want to be the first person that says no? We'll see. It took me about a year to find the right prismatic. Oh, wow. But yes, if you want to reach out via email, if you don't have social media or you don't feel comfortable publicly posting, you can reach out via here or at me on Instagram, ALLYLOTL, or at CGC Cards on Instagram is the easiest. But with that, that does wrap off the show for tonight. A little bit shorter than usual. That is the fact that we don't have openings to get on into, but a lot of news. This felt like a news broadcast tonight more so than an episode, but a lot of fun. And I appreciate you all tuning in. Have the High Ground says super nice. Congrats on double pristines, Afro Black. Yes, awesome cards, and thank you so much for sharing. But I appreciate you all tuning in here. I'm appreciative of your feedback on these CGC x JSA labels. I appreciate Greg for letting us know about a potential website issue. If you guys are encountering anything else, let us know so we can take care of that promptly, look into it, and I'll pass along the feedback that you all have given me here tonight to the proper sources, let your comments be heard. But thank you so much, everyone, for tuning in, and I should be back again next Monday unless I get food poisoning. Monday, July 22nd for episode number 21. But thank you so much, everyone, for tuning in. Take care, stay safe, and keep on having fun collecting. Bye-bye.